Hello and welcome to Dropkick Chronicles, episode 9. I'm your man Trey, and today we'll be talking about the WWE Royal Rumble pay-per-view. I'm sorry, as I should say, premium live event, because that's what they're calling it now. But before I get into it, I will also like to add that the Royal Rumble was okay. It was okay. It was okay. I enjoyed it, but then again, there was some points in there to where I was like, okay, what's going on? It's one of those things where it's like, it's either or. It's either it's good or it's bad. Or it's in between. But first thing I like to do is I like to get into the Universal Championship match between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Now, in this match, the build up to the match was great. Seth Rollins is on Raw, and they had him come over to SmackDown to cut a few promos on Roman Reigns to tell the story even further. It even involved Kevin Owens. So pretty much, man. During the match, during the entrances, Roman had already come out. You got Seth Rollins coming out. But guess what though? Seth Rollins didn't come out in his Burn It Down, his visionary theme music. He came out in the Shield theme music, and he was wearing the Shield attire with the crowd entrance. Now, if that's not storytelling, I don't know what is. That's great. That's how you play mind games with your opponent, especially when it has something to do with the history of why y'all are actually in the match. But they played it real good, man. I'm talking about Seth Rollins playing just straight up old school mind games with him, you know what I'm saying, in a reputable fashion. And instead it so happening to be the Shield, and he even cut a promo on SmackDown talking about Jon Moxley. And I'm like, huh? They name dropping AEW superstars now? Because AEW wrestlers, that's what they're doing. All right, but it's just one of those things where you don't get to see often, but when you do see it, it's so great. It's so A+. It's like A+ match, 5-star match. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of those things where you have a heel champion, a heel like Roman Reigns, that is so like he's a polarizing figure, and he's like at the top of his game. As he says, he's in God mode. He's in God mode these days. And so that's the thing, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins have history. So, why not put that on screen? Why not put that, even though it's already been displayed before, but the stakes are higher. It's like, times have changed in wrestling. It's 2022, not 2016 anymore. So, and Roman Reigns has told himself, man, you living in the past. You know what I'm saying? I'm a different Roman these days. So, I'm going to get right into this match. So, as the match starts, it's high action. Rollins hits Roman Reigns with a suicide dive, and he's he got him back into the ring, and he got the upper hand and dominance in the match. And then what I see a table spot, and this is also storytelling. Rollins hits Roman Reigns with a Shield like powerbomb. As you remember, the Shield, they used to dominate the locker room, and they would go around beating up everybody. They would go around, surrounding whoever was in the ring, beating them up, then setting them up for a vicious triple power bomb, where John Moxley will be on another side of the person and Seth would be on the other side of the person, and then big man Roman Reigns would actually, they would set him up for Roman Reigns to power bomb, and all three of them to power bomb whoever they were power bombing onto a table, announce table. And so for Seth Rollins to power bomb Roman Reigns until the announce table, Shield like power bomb, man. It was such a story. Like that's great, because that's how you tell it, you know what I'm saying, in a reputable fashion, whatever fashion that the story has to be told, whatever moves have to be done for you to, spots have to be done for you to tell that story, you do those spots, but he gets him back into the ring after the spot, after the power bump through the table, and he kicks out. Now, all you see is this match is going great. I think that the finish, it kind of, I wasn't ticked off about the finish, but I was like, it could have been better because he didn't beat him clean. He beat him, he got disqualified, of course. He held on to a submission hold for more than 5 seconds after the rope break. So, if anything, dog, just think about it. Roman is such a rogue heel, right? That he doesn't care. Roman knows that, okay, if I hold a submission over 5 seconds, over the 5 count, after someone has already put their hand or finger or anything on the rope to break the submission and I get disqualified, I will still keep my championship. I don't care. I will still keep my title and I will still prevail as a champion. That's exactly what the thing that they did, and it was really smart. And I was like, I really wasn't expecting Seth Rollins to beat Roman Reigns for the Universal title. But at the same time, I wasn't expecting the outcome of that match to be like that. I was expecting Roman Reigns to beat him clean, because Seth has been telling Roman Reigns, you bloodline, they're a joke. You know what I'm saying? You didn't do, you didn't retain all those championship matches. You didn't retain the championship by yourself. You didn't do it by yourself. You didn't, you weren't in matches by yourself. They would always interfere. But then again, Seth, he can't talk, because J&J Security, if you remember, would always come in his matches and help him retain the WWE title. Especially if, it was in 2015, he was a champion for nearly a year, but you know what I'm saying? Think about it, man. It's storytelling 101. You know what I'm saying? It's like playing cards. You don't let nobody know your hand. You don't let nobody know what you got, So Roman refused to break the hold, drawing a disqualification. Roman Reigns continued holding the choke far after the disqualification, because he really wanted to maim Seth Rollins. And what was cool, it was, oh my God, storytelling in this match is the first match of the night. Remember, Roman Reigns is either in the first match of the night or the last. He either opens or closes. He's never in the middle of the pay-per-view, or the premium live event. He's never in the middle of it. So he gets a chair just after the match is over. He gets a chair and he recreates the Shield breakup spot where Seth Rollins June 2014. This is the breakup of the Shield. This is when Triple H announced that Seth Rollins, of course, in terminology, there is always a plan B. So, in which I believe that in life myself. There's always plan B and C. But man, it's so cool to see that spot again, because Seth back then, He took a chair and he put it in the back of Jon Moxley, then Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns. So Roman Reigns at this past Premium Live Events Royal Rumble, he takes a chair and he put it in Seth Rollins' back. He maimed, I'm talking about, tore Seth Rollins up with the chair. I mean, once he got through tearing him up with the chair is, you can't even sit in the chair. You can't sit in the chair anymore. So, man, I pretty much was like, okay, wow. All right, so they recreated that spot, and that's the end of that. That match ended up getting an A-. It was somewhat of a 5-star match. That's what they say. A lot of people were surprised, like myself, at the outcome because, I mean, it was unpredictable. But then again, some people knew that he was gonna, retain. So as we move on, to the women's Royal Rumble match. Now, we'll talk about this in depth. There were a lot of legendary women superstars that returned in this match. I'm gonna name quite a few. So I like to say that Sasha Banks entered in at number 1, and the returning Melina, who has not been in the WWE for 10 or 11 years. She hadn't been in WWE since 2011, 2010, I want to say. I think she left around that time. And she entered in at number 2. So, Kelly entered in at number 4. Man. Which, I think, Tamina entered in at number 3. So, Bianca was in there. That's like last year's winner, 2021 Royal Rumble, Women's Royal Rumble winner, Bianca Belair. She entered the Royal Rumble at number 8. The returning Michelle McCool, she entered in. Dana Brooke, she was in there. Sonya Deville, she entered in number 11. And this is what kayfabe wise, I'm like, why do you, okay, you're a WWE official. She's cleared to wrestle. But you're a WWE official entering a Royal Rumble match, all because you have a personal vendetta against Naomi. Mind you, Naomi, you know what I'm saying? She was trying to win another women's championship. She didn't let her do that. I'm like, they need to strike and let Naomi be women's champion again, because I'm like, why are you just wasting great talent like that? But nonetheless, Naomi's friend, old tag team partner, or old buddy, Cameron returned. I forgot what number she was. And Sonya Deville attacked Cameron. She was at the announce table announcing, I guess, commentating, and then she'd seen Cameron, and she knows that Cameron is Naomi's friend. And of course, she has a personal vendetta against Naomi. Like I said, man, she got in the ring and started attacking this girl, and I'm like, why? Come on, man, like, really? And then Naomi comes out. She gets in the ring, tussle for a little bit, and then she really, in the end, she ends up eliminating Sonya Deville, and then Sonya Deville ends up helping Charlotte eliminate Naomi because she has a personal vendetta against her. I guess that rivalry will continue on SmackDown. So you also have a returning superstar in Ivory. Ivory is she's so legendary. She returned as the Right to Censor. Which was it was an eclectic gimmick from the Attitude Era, like 2001. Man, and so that's crazy. She returned, and then the Bella Twins returned. Oh yes, Impact Women's Champion. What am I thinking of? Impact Women's Champion, Mickie James. Yes, Mickie James returned. Obviously, she, and they call them knockouts in Impact. She's a knockouts champ. But WWE, of course, which that was cool. That's the same thing that AEW does, and they work with other promotions. But WWE, they finally did it because, of course, Mickie James used to, work for WWE. She used to wrestle for them. So they literally just, they called her. It was like, all right, cool. We're gonna have you return, bring you knocked out your women's championship from Impact, and enter in at, I forgot what number she entered in at, but as I might add, so it was a lot going on in this match. They brought a rivalry into the match, pitting Nikki ASH and Rhea Ripley. So Nikki ASH entered in from behind. She tried to eliminate Rhea Ripley via attack from behind. So, but didn't succeed, And that's the thing. They do bring rivalries, and then they bring tag teams into the match too, like Carmella and Queen Zelina, who are the current women's tag team champions. So yes, returning legend also Lita entered in at number 26, and she eliminated Mickie James from the match. So a surprise entrant, which I have not seen this superstar in a long time, and she went away to raise a kid, and they actually released her while she was away, and she went home. She went to Scotland. Sarah Logan. Yes, Sarah Logan was a part of the group, the Riot Squad, when Ruby Soho was in WWE. A few years back, they had that group along with Liv Morgan, and so, man, yeah. Another surprise entrant, and she is the winner of the match. Ronda Rousey. She won the match. That was surprising. I was like, okay, all right. And because she really made her debut in WWE at the Royal Rumble event, Premium Live event. So, this match got a C. Kind of middle grade, But yeah. So, next match is the match I really didn't care for, because really prematurely we knew the winner anyway. I mean, like I said, I don't watch Raw, and if I do, it's probably gonna be highlights. I don't watch it when it's live, so I'm like, I got better things to do. But we have the Raw Women's Championship match between Becky Lynch and Dewdrop. Why they changed her name to that, I don't know. So, as we get into it, Dewdrop tried to use her power to immediately take the fight to Lynch, getting off to a strong start before trying to cannonball Lynch against the ring steps. Lynch moved out of the way, sending Dewdrop crashing into the steps and allowing Lynch to get the upper hand. Dewdrop continued to fight back as the match went on, including hitting Lynch with some massive powerbomb and splashes in the corner. Lynch nearly won the bout with a flipping senton onto a standing Dewdrop for a 2 count. But yep, She again counted a manhandle slam, and really in the end, it was. I think this pay-per-view was the singles matches. It was like heel versus heel. You know, they were heel versus heel. So that was kind of interesting. It's always babyface and then heel. You know, so both Dewdrop and Becky Lynch are heels, but I'm like, well, here's why I didn't really care about this match, because I already knew that Becky Lynch was gonna take the win anyway. She hit Dewdrop with, a devastating manhandle slam, which is a uranagi, off the second rope, if I remember seeing it correctly. And it was from the ropes, and this match got a grade of a B. It was okay. As like I said, it was an okay Rumble. It was an okay Royal Rumble this year. I can't wait to see what next year's look like. When we are officially on the road to WrestleMania, I'm excited. I might or might not be going to Dallas this year for WrestleMania, but it's okay. I'll be covering WrestleMania footage and be covering WrestleMania, right here on Dropkick Chronicles. So be on the lookout for that. April 2nd and 3rd. That's a Saturday and a Sunday. As we move on, to the WWE Championship match. Oh, this championship match was great. Even though it got a B+ as a grade, but it was a great match. It was a lot of power moves in the match. They waited. It didn't disappoint. They waited 15 years to have this match. Ever since 2006? Yeah. Like after Brock left WWE and Bobby Lashley made his debut that year. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dang, we finally got the dream match that we'd been asking for. They gave it to us. And the one thing that I do like about WWE, they know how to subtly bring things to fruition. They know how to do that. They know how to subtly bring things into fruition because they know, we can't give you all these things, at once. We can't do it. I distinctly remember back in like 2019 or 2018, one of those years, they said, oh, we're gonna do right by the WWE universe. We're gonna give you, great matches, great storylines. We're gonna give you what you want. But what they didn't tell them is we're gonna give you what you want all at once. People wanted everything to happen like all at once. I'm like, they're not gonna do that because that's bad for business. First. Second, who is out here really listening to, fans like that? Who's listening to millions upon millions upon millions upon billions of people, who are wrestling fans and, her WWE fans are part of the WWE universe, who's out here really, listening to them? Who's doing it? I know me personally, I'm like, I just, like, if I ran a company, basically, like, and I ran a wrestling promotion, I wouldn't be listening to everybody, because everybody is wishy-washy, The fans, sometimes they get iffy about certain stuff. They build a superstar up, then after they become champion, get behind they become champion, and then they want to turn their back so quickly as soon as they become champ. Now, look what they did to Hangman Adam Page, and tell me if you would listen to a whole lot of fans and give them what they want, because so many people have different opinions. You can't listen to everybody. But back to the match, a WWE Championship match between Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley. Now, It was tense early moments, and Lesnar was the first man to score with offense, hitting a German suplex before laughing at Lashley. Lashley returned the favor, and they basically were hitting each other with German suplexes. So and they tried to do damage to each other. So Lashley delivered 2 spears after slipping out of an F5 attempt from Lesnar. This was like a back and forth match. It was at first, until Bobby was like, he got the upper hand and stuff like that. Lesnar was able to see Lashley coming with a spear attempt outside the ring, through the barricade, and he sidestepped it. He did. He sidestepped it. There was, Bobby tried to spear Brock Lesnar out of his shoes through a barricade, and Brock Lesnar was like, nope. He was like, nope, I'll let you spear yourself right into the barricade. He ran right into the barricade, full speed. So after that, this opened Lesnar up to hit a long string of German suplexes. Lesnar went for the F5 again, and again Lesnar went for the F5, and again he countered it. This time locking in the hurt lock in the middle of the ring. Desperate to escape, Lesnar drove Lashley backward into the referee before then hitting the F5 and again hitting the ref, knocking him down and out of the ring as Lesnar covered for what would have been the match-winning pin. Yeah, because that would have been it. But and man, it's a double cross coming too after the end. We're doing the match. So as Lesnar paced the ring waiting for a new referee, Roman Reigns ran to the ring to deliver a spear to Lesnar. It's coming. Hold up. So, man. As Lesnar praised, Reigns then stared down Paul Heyman before asking for the WWE Championship belt. Heyman handed the belt over, and Reigns used it to lay out Lesnar. Now, mind you, after he hit Brock Lesnar, I saw something. He looked at the WWE Championship with disdain. It's like, no, I don't want this championship. Where's my Universal Championship? He threw the WWE Championship down. He was like, he just threw it down in the mat. Because that's storytelling 101 as well. Why elevate another title when you have a title that you've elevated and it's more prestigious than the original? Because the WWE Championship has been around for more than 50 years. And right now, it is not the most prestigious championship world title in WWE. The Universal Championship is. It's the most prestigious. And big ups to Roman Reigns for making it that. Because at first, it wasn't that. Before Roman, won it as, heel Roman, as rogue Roman, So, yeah, man. And as if, Paul has turned on Brock, or he played Brock the whole time. I'm talking about he played him like a piano. For real. Because, I'm like, yo, hold up. Isn't Paul Heyman an advocate for Brock Lesnar? But you see how they was really letting you know that, this is a double cross. Because, he got fired by Roman Reigns, but I saw right through it anyway. I was like, yep, it's going to be a double cross. It's coming. I just didn't know when it was coming. I was like, okay, it's either coming at the Royal Rumble or a little bit after, before we hit WrestleMania, you know. And man, it was a very good match. Brock Lesnar, he defended the WWE Championship. In a way, I have not seen him defend a championship in a long time. But they had, big match stuff. You know what I'm saying? Big moves in the match. It was action packed, and that's what I like. And of course, Bobby Lashley is the new WWE champion. He's a 2-time WWE champion now. He literally gets to close his, career on his terms, whatever he wants to. It's Bobby Lashley. Still got more time, even though he's nearly 50, but he still got more time to go. And so another match that I really, I guess I didn't care for, but I guess one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, Edge, is in the match. So all right. So Miz and Maurice versus Edge and Beth Phoenix. Now, Maurice ran from Beth Phoenix to start the match because yes, is mixed tag. The women started first, and she ran like a scalded dog. Shout out to JR. That's his favorite line. Every time somebody's running from a fight, you running like a scalded dog. But man, oh man, leading to Miz and Edge spending much of the early section of the match battling with little threat of the women getting involved. Maurice delivered a few cheap shots to Edge as Miz was in control, but an Edge DDT allowed him to tag in Beth Phoenix, who dominated Maurice until Miz broke up a pin. Phoenix then got in Miz's face, drawing some harsh words from Miz. Beth Phoenix then slammed Miz into the corner and landed several shots before Maurice struck from behind with a loaded purse. Beth Phoenix kicked out of the follow-up pin, however, and eventually managed the hot tag to Edge. Yeah. Oh man, yeah, she hit Beth Phoenix hit the Miz with a power bomb, and it set up an Edge elbow drop and a near fall. Yep. Oh man. Oh my God, man. This match was something else. It was okay. But it also ended in Edge and Beth Phoenix, the grit couple, beating the it couple, Miz and Maurice, after that's funny. Oh my God. Beth Phoenix came into the ring to hit a double spear with Edge on Miz before the pair hit simultaneous glam slams for the win. Yeah, and that's husband and wife for you, man. They gonna do it together. They gonna win together. That's what they're gonna do. And so as we move on to the men's Royal Rumble match, and it's, as I might say, it is very, very, it was cool. It's okay. But the darn outcome, I'm going to get to it in a minute. So AJ Styles entered in at number 1, and Shinsuke Nakamura entered in at number 2. Now, is it 2 long-time rivals? Because they had a feud, 4 years ago at it led to WrestleMania WWE Championship Match, and it led to that match, and so they renewed the rivalry, kind of, so to speak, in the Royal Rumble match this year. So it's pretty interesting. Also, Jackass legend from the movie Jackass, Johnny Knoxville, Oh yeah, he entered in at number 9. Oh yeah, so he entered in wearing some type of, I don't know what the heck he was wearing. He looked like Nacho Libre except skinnier. But the man entered in, he gets beat up, and I feel like I was yelling at the TV. I was like, yo, why they beating up Johnny Knoxville like this? But I'm watching it and I'm like, well, he probably asked for it anyway. Because Johnny Knoxville, he loves taking bumps. He's been taking bumps on Jackass for the last 20 years. So it's nothing new. Except he's in the world of WWE. And so these bumps hurt very much. You're going to feel him in the morning. But, man, the first man eliminated from the match was Robert Roode. Also Bobby Roode. I don't like saying Robert. Who was knocked from the ring by AJ Styles just a moment after entering the match. Styles also eliminated Nakamura moments later. Yeah, man. So he was off to a great start, but they didn't let AJ Styles win. I don't know if they're gonna ever let AJ Styles win a match at a pay-per-view. With the match being named after the pay-per-view where he debuted at the Royal Rumble in 2016. I'm like, let this man win a Royal Rumble, bro, and headline a WrestleMania before he sits down, please. I know that's in his dreams. I know that's in his goals. I know he wants to do that. And really, AJ Styles has been in the game for 20 years plus. So also Omos the Giant, and it took 6 people to eliminate this man, but he was first true giant entrant, because I think he's over 7 feet tall, and so he entered in at number 11. So AJ Styles continued to not only survive but dominate the Royal Rumble match as he piled up eliminations. He scored 6 eliminations. It was some kind of a record. He scored 6 eliminations, and he eliminated Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss. Okay. After a very slow middle section of the match, it kind of progressed a little slow, moving along, a little patchy. But after the match, favorites started rolling in late, starting with Drew McIntyre, number 21. McIntyre quickly took out both Corbin and Moss. Oh yes, that's who eliminated Corbin and Moss. Okay. Yes. So before following both men outside the ring to deliver a few shots with the ring steps, he beat them up. I was like, what? So you went through the ropes, picked up the steps, you hit Madcap Moss, and you hit Happy Corbin, Baron Corbin, for those of you who don't know, with ring steps, man. I'm like, okay, whoa. But it's the thing that this is crazy. It's like, like, wow, you get outside the ring and you beat people up in the middle of the match. But moving on, man. So you got Kevin Owens entering in number 22. You got Rey Mysterio, number 23. Kofi Kingston, Mr. Royal Rumble, and they actually botched the spot. He was actually supposed to not get eliminated, but he was supposed to land on the barricade, and I think I don't know if he overshot it. Coming off the apron. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a move that he did a few years back. You know what I'm saying? On like probably like 5 years back. And so, Mr. Royal Rumble himself botches a spot and gets eliminated. I was like, oh my God. And it gets eliminated early. He wasn't even in the match long. But another surprise, besides Drew McIntyre, because Drew McIntyre was, coming off an injury. So, another surprise, Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny entered in at number 27. He immediately took out Sheamus and Kevin Owens, and then Riddle, before Sheamus took him out from behind. Sheamus tried to score the elimination with a brogue kick, but Bad Bunny pulled down the top rope, sending Sheamus to the floor for an elimination. He got 2 eliminations in the match. For really a music superstar like him, he's like Latin music's Drake. It's Bad Bunny. So for him to really be an artist, he's an artist and not a seasoned veteran. He has never went to NXT. He trained. Don't get me wrong. He trained. Bad Bunny, of course, they train everybody who gets inside, the ring. You have to be. Why not? You know what I'm saying? So they train everybody who gets inside the ring. And so here's the thing, man, for Bad Bunny not even to be that type, like he's not even a wrestler. For him to go in there and do what he did, if you got Twitter, just even if you got YouTube, just social media period, just you can see Bad Bunny. This man, he is so brave. He faced Brock Lesnar and got F5, took a bump. Most people can't do it. Most people refuse to work with Brock, but he was like, all right, put me in the mix. Wow. And he entered in at number 27, which is a lucky spot, but he got eliminated. Shane McMahon, I don't know why he was in the damn match, which I'm like, I got real mad because he was in the match. Like, what are you doing? You sir, you're not your father owns the company. Why are you in the Royal Rumble match? They could have gave that spot to anybody in the back, but you know the reason why they had to do surprise entrance in the men's and women's Royal Rumble matches? Because they had released every damn body. That's the thing. They had released everybody. Yeah, pretty much. They released everybody. So, like, okay, why you gonna sit up here and ask people back months later for the Rumble? They was like, oh crap, we got oh my God, we don't have enough people to be in the match. Okay, all right, let's call some people. What? Come on. But yeah, and this is okay. So Randy Orton enters in at number 29. Immediately worked with Riddle to eliminate Big E and Otis. And this is what really made me go, why? And just stare at the TV like somebody who's trying to see the TV. Number 30 was Brock Lesnar. I don't get it. Why would you have somebody enter the match who lost a championship earlier on in the premium live event? Why? What? I don't get it. What is going on? Okay, is it Vince McMahon's love, just distinct love for Brock Lesnar, that he had to just put him in? This was, I know it was planned from the start. It's okay. I know it's planned from the start. But come on, man. You really, dog? You gonna put Brock Lesnar in the match after he lost the WWE title? Come on, man. Really? Really? I'm sounding like the Miz. 2010 Miz. Really? Really? Okay. Okay, WWE. Creative. Way to right. Way to go on that one. And Brock Lesnar ended up winning the match. And the grade for this match got an F. Yeah, as it should, of course. Match was sad. Got Brock Lesnar winning yet another Rumble. He hadn't won a Rumble since 2003? That was the first time he won the Rumble. Then he just won the Rumble this past weekend. 19 years apart. Why? I feel like, okay, Ronda Rousey won the Women's Rumble. And I feel like this was like an MMA Rumble. Of course, it's because it's like Brock Lesnar. He got an MMA background as well before returning to WWE. You know, Ronda Rousey, she got an MMA background. Man, I'm like, man, okay, WWE. Alright, okay. Brock Lesnar's going to WrestleMania. Okay. Once again, folks, I don't know why. But as I wrap up, it's been great. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe right here on Dropkick Chronicles. See ya.